Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the State Treasurer's Office webinar series, Inside the Vault, Resources for Local Leaders. My name is Christian Daly, the STO's External Affairs Manager. If this is your first webinar with us, welcome. And to those that have joined us before, welcome back. A few housekeeping notes before we get started. This webinar is being recorded and it will be made available afterwards. The information shared today will be sent to all in attendance and to those that have registered. And finally, we encourage you to drop your questions, if you have them, into the chat. We have a treasure trove of information lined up for you. As we move through today's webinar, you will hear about an update on bonds and other initiatives, as well as learn about two great programs within our office. Learning something new that can benefit those that you serve and even your own household. As always, we hope you have a eureka moment, like a California-specific aha moment. This webinar will be as interactive as it is informative, as we have a few polls for you to engage with us on. With that said, let's open up this vault. All right, we have our first poll. Would you rather have every traffic light turn green or always have the best parking spot? It looks like our poll is up. So go ahead and submit away. And we'll give it about a few moments as we see the answers pouring in. So it's a little tricky, right? It's like green light gives us quick travel time anywhere we go, and we can always get a good parking spot. Or no matter when you leave, you always pull up to the best spot. All right, looking at our results, looks like a majority of you said the green light. Well, thankfully, there are no red lights slowing you down to get to today's vault, and we will always have the best spot for you when you join us. Okay, on to our next poll. If you could allocate extra funding to one initiative in your community, which one would it be? Our poll is up and you have the choices before you, so go ahead and answer away. Maybe it's infrastructure, education, environmental projects. Let's see. Give this about 30 seconds as I see the answers and the ratio shift here. Okay, I see one in the chat, I think hospital, so I think that's for public health. Okay, looks like a majority of you said infrastructure improvements. And there are many projects and programs, given the options we have on the screen on your poll, that are key to improving our communities and the state, and none would be possible without funding. So, as shared by State Treasurer Fiona Ma on our first webinar, the STO oversees the issuance of state debt or bonds. Treasurer Ma, California's primary banker, serves as agent of sale for all state bonds and is trustee of billions of dollars of state indebtedness. Our office is responsible for overseeing direct state issuance, for example, general obligation bonds. In addition, we act as agent for sale for other state-related issuers and authorities like the California Department of Water Resources or the UC Regents. The proceeds of new bonds issued by the state and state-related issuers are used to fund major infrastructure projects. This directly contributes to and enhances our economy, which ranks 5th in the world. Since 2019, Treasurer Ma's office has facilitated over $100 billion in bond sales. As of June 30th of this year, California's outstanding general obligation and lease revenue bonds total nearly $81 billion. In the first half of the year, the STO acted as agent for sale for over $14 billion of bonds for both the state directly and multiple state agencies and conduits. Again, these bonds help create new money for infrastructure projects, which many of you selected in our poll, and also refunding bonds to reduce debt service costs over time. So here's a snapshot of our 2024 bond sales and the funding generated for various projects around the state. Additionally, at the bottom, you see that the STO served as an agent of sale for the UC Regents, the Cal State System, the California Housing Finance Agency, and one of our own financing authorities, or BCAs as we call them here at the office, the California Health Facilities Financing Authority, or CHAPA, as we say in the STO. So on our last webinar, we had presenters from the Cal Kids program and the California Capital Access program. So here's a quick update. The number of claimed accounts for Cal Kids continues to grow, and that's thanks to the hard work of the Scholarship Investment Board staff and our community partners, such as you, that help connect us with and inform these families. Our Back to School campaign is underway. So from paid media to direct school collaborations, the SIB team is focused on letting school-age students know about California's easiest scholarship, CBCFA, and their California Capital Access Program. So the new zero-emission heavy-duty truck programs are up and running, pun intended. It's a set of 3 programs which together support loans for zero-emission heavy-duty and medium-duty vehicles and infrastructure throughout the state. All are pilot programs funded by independent contributors, which provide program parameters and funding to meet their policy goals, while CBCFA, within the STO, provides the CalCap mechanism and administration. The program continues the partnership with the California Air Resources Board and also the California Energy Commission, and adds a partnership with the Southern California Edison. And the second tranche of funding from the State Small Business Credit Initiative, or SSBCI, is set to come in by the end of the month, helping small business owners and entrepreneurs gain access to the capital they need, as well as technical assistance. And if this is your first time hearing about these programs, we've dropped some links in the chat so you can check them out. And finally, CIDIAC, which stands for the California Debt and Investment Advisory Commission. For those here today that are tuned to public finance and inclined to the municipal market, mark your calendars for the Bond Buyer Pre-Conference, which will be on October 23rd. All right, everybody, time for another poll. What word comes to mind when you think about financial planning for people with disabilities? The poll is up, and we have some choices. Is it independence? Is it complicated? Is it essential? Let's see. All right, answers are pouring in. We'll give it about 15 to 10 seconds for the rest of the answers to trickle on in. All right. Okay, looks like things have slowed down. And majority of you said independence with a close second of essential. Our next presenter will share information that can help those with disabilities achieve a better life experience. I would now like to pass it to Thomas Martin, Executive Director for CalAble. Thomas?
Hi, thank you. So, like you said, my name's Thomas Martin. I'm Executive Director for CalAble. I have autism, so do both of my kids. So this is a very personal program for me, and excited to share how this program helps people with disabilities plan for the future and be able to spend today as well. So if we can go to the next slide. So CalAble. CalAble is a savings plan for people with disabilities. The purpose is to generate self-advocacy and self-determination and self-support by providing a platform that allows for financial independence. With a CalAble account, there's some key benefits that come from it. One of those benefits is that it's tax advantaged, as long as your expenses meet the qualified expenses that I'll mention in a bit. Any earnings on the account are exempt from state and federal taxes. And which is really important for folks with receiving disability benefits. You can also protect your disability benefits by putting your assets into a Calable account. So if you can go to the next slide. So what do I mean by that? So typically, if you're so people on disabilities, many of them are very reliant on SSI, Supplemental Security Income, through the Federal Social Security Administration. Um, but if you're receiving SSI, you can't have more than $2,000 in assets. Meaning you can't have more than $2,000 in a bank account at any point, or else you could jeopardize your benefits. So naturally, $2,000 is extremely limiting. It's the number hasn't been updated since 1989, and so it's very difficult if you are receiving disability benefits to be able to save long term for any expenses, even small ones, but especially big ones. So being able to save for a house, a car, an apartment, you can't pay for first and last month's rent and a security deposit if you can only have $2,000 at a time. And that's where Calable comes in. So for eligible folks with disabilities, they can open up a Calable account. They can save up to $18,000 per year and $100,000 total without affecting SSI benefits or other benefits that look at assets. So it's really important. It's really critical, and it's really the main vehicle by which someone receiving these benefits can be financial independent, can live on their own, can manage their expenses and save for the future. So next slide, please. So who is eligible? In order to be eligible, you have to have a disability that starts before the age of 26. Um, but that age is actually going to increase to 46 in 2026. But for now, the disability has to start before the age of 26. Doesn't matter how old you actually are. I'm over 26, but I can have a Calable account because my disability starts at birth. Um, and so in order for it to be an eligible disability, it has to be recognized by the Social Security Administration as something that meet eligibility criteria for SSI or SSDI. Both of those operated by Social Security. And what's really important is the account is owned by the person with the disability, but there can be a representative to support that person. So, for example, both of my kids, they both have Calable accounts. The money that's in there is their money, but I'm the representative. I can manage the account for them, unless and until they would be able to manage it on their own. Next slide, please. Now, what can you do with the account? So there are a lot of things you can spend the money on. You can see some of the examples here: education, housing, transportation. You can get to buy a car. You can use it to pay for the bus. You can use it for recreation, for vacation, for adaptive technology. It's meant to be broad. The purpose of this is to help people with disabilities improve their quality of life, their health, their independence. So a lot of things fit into those categories, and that is on purpose. Um, the goal really is to make sure that someone with disabilities can do basically can have the same opportunities that everyone else can. Um, Now with a Calable account, you can also build on those savings by using one of the 8 portfolios that are professionally managed. So there's a range of options that the account holder or the representative can choose from that can prioritize long-term growth or short-term earnings, whatever they're looking for, and there's this opportunity to grow it through compound interest. And again, just to recap, if as long as the account is used for those qualified expenses, any earnings on it are exempt from both state and federal taxes. So next slide, please. So I know that was very quick. There's plenty more to share about the program. if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can see our website here, calable.ca.gov. You can also give us a call. We'd be happy to answer questions or help. You can sign up for a newsletter. But it's important to remember, creating an account only takes 15 minutes and you can use it for the rest of your life. It's great, it's helpful, and I strongly encourage everyone to if there's someone that you know, if you or someone you know could benefit from this, great, sign up. But also as you talk to people in your community, constituents, anyone out that you can support, please share the Calibo program with them. A lot of people could really benefit from it, and so we're really trying to spread the word. Okay, and then one last thing I'll just say at the end. This is our standard disclaimer that you'd find in pretty much any investment platform. It is investment, so investment naturally carries risk, just like it would for any other program. So we do have this disclaimer here and on the next slide. I would just encourage that folks take a look at the slides when they're sent out. But with that, that's all I have. Again, calable.ca.gov. Please share the word. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Thomas, for giving us that briefing on the Cal Able program. Truly a life-changing program. Shifting gears to the residential and business communities, what motivates you most when considering energy efficient upgrades for your home or business? Poll is up and we have some choices for you. And let's see what the answers will look like. All right, looks like folks are still answering. I'll give it a few moments. Things are shifting. Looks like there is a top choice thus far. Continue to answer, but it looks like majority of you chose lowering your energy bill. And our next presenter will share some energizing information that can help shed some light and possibly earn you those savings you're looking for. I'd like to pass it to Tracy Huckel, marketing specialist with our Go Green financing program. Tracy?
All right, thank you, Christian, and thank you to the STO for hosting these quarterly webinars. I've already learned a lot from Thomas. Let's go ahead and go on to the first slide, and I will let you all know about Go Green financing. So, who are we? What are we doing? We exist to bring energy upgrades to more Californians by making them more affordable. And when I say energy upgrades, I'm talking about things that help you use less energy, right? Things that contribute to kind of a cleaner, greener California. The way we do that is we work with lenders, right? So these are not loans from the state. Rather, they are kind of facilitated by our work behind the scenes with lenders to provide them something that is sort of similar to a loan guarantee. It's not exactly the same, but it's close to that. So in return, they are able to turn around and offer you better rates and terms. They're able to lend more broadly, so new businesses or people who don't have perfect credit. So it's that's what we live to do. That's what we're all striving for here at Go Green Financing. We have 3 programs basically for home, multifamily properties, and for businesses, small businesses, I should say, small to medium-sized businesses. Offering below market interest rates and longer terms. We are very proud to offer a transparent lending option through our program. There are no fees, no hidden costs, no property liens. You should never be surprised when you're dealing with us. That's what we aim to do. A lot of different kinds of projects qualify. Again, anything that sort of requires energy to keep your building or your physical space comfortable or going, operating and working for you. So heaters, air conditioners, insulation and windows, appliances. On the business front, it can be equipment. They can be all types of equipment would qualify. And then new for us is solar panels and battery storage and EV chargers. Those can now be financed through our program. And we are really happy to be able to offer that clean energy financing product to Californians. So we talk a lot in this program about improved interest rates and extended terms, which of course make for a more affordable monthly payment. But what do we mean by those lower interest rates? Well, for Go Green Home, interest rates start at 3.98%, which is really good. Now, these are unsecured loans. There's no collateral required. There's no property lien. So for an unsecured loan, this is really quite an excellent interest rate range that is offered through our program. Our average rate historically is 5.16%. And that is, excuse me, and that is a comes in about 5 entire percentage points, 5 to 6 entire percentage points below what the market rate would have been for similar loans, if that makes sense. So you're saving, the difference between 11 odd percent and 5% for the financing when you go through Go Green Home. For Go Green Business, the average over time has been 8.96%. However, for those who have used our Go Low promotion, which is currently in effect, the average interest rate has been 2%. So Go Low is something that you want to maybe check out if you're a business owner and you know that you've got some equipment that might need replacing soon. This would be a good time to look into it. You can go on our website and find a lender who's offering Go Low interest rates and be able to save potentially quite a bit. You can get rates as low as 0%. All right, let's go on to the next slide, please. So who's eligible? Right now, it's homes and businesses that receive service from one of the 4 big IOUs, PG&E, Edison, San Diego Gas and Electric, or SoCal Gas. For homes, it's a kind of a broad criteria of different types of homes, including manufactured homes, which is a little bit unusual for this space. Homeowners and renters can use the program. Renters would probably be replacing an appliance. And then you can see our maximum financed amounts, $50K for energy efficiency. And if you're doing solar and storage, up to $75K. So for a business, it's you've got to meet some size criteria. You've got to conform with a certain size limitations, right? Come in underneath, but they're fairly generous, benchmarks there. And the maximum financed amount is $5 million. You can get a lot done for $5 million. Market rate and affordable multifamily properties will qualify. And I just want to add something about the financing. It can support some non-energy upgrades as well. So 30% of your loan can be for, some other type of improvement to the property, like landscaping or remodeling. It can't just be like cash or, or vacation money or something like that. But it needs to be an improvement, something that is affixed to the property. So think about that. You can also, you can upgrade an outdoor patio if you're a business, like, say a restaurant owner. All right, let's move on to the next slide. And okay, so you may be just itching to take action and wondering how you can do that. Well, I would go to gogreenfinancing.com. That is our website, which serves as kind of a hub for all of our enrolled contractors and our enrolled lenders and so forth. And there you can kind of explore the types of projects that you would be able to do. And then you can get in touch with a Go Green Home or Go Green Business contractor. Now, for this program, the work will need to be completed by a contractor who's enrolled in our program, and you can find them on our website. You enter your zip code, you enter the like the category of service that you're interested in, and hit search, and you'll come up with a list of contractors who can provide that service for you. Um, and if your favorite contractor isn't enrolled yet, you can point them to us, and that person can get enrolled in a couple of hours. And once you've spoken with a contractor and you've got an estimate in mind, now you can go looking for a lender and find a pretty good rate. Again, you can find lenders on gogreenfinancing.com. You'll put in your zip code, and it will give you a list of lenders servicing your area. And with that, you're off and running as long as you're approved for the loan. All right, so thank you for your attention, and thank you for attending this webinar. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and happy to answer any questions we can for you. And I will turn it over back to Christian.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy, for sharing that information to assist residents of the Golden State. And we're going to pause and see if we have any questions from our attendees today. And again, as stated earlier, if you have a question about either presenter, Thomas or Tracy, go ahead and drop your question in the chat. We are at the end of our time together, so just pausing a moment. Thus far, it looks like folks are very satisfied and no follow-up questions from their presentations. So we will go ahead and move forward for the sake of time. All right, we do have a couple of questions for you. We would love to know how we can better serve you and your respective communities, keeping these webinars tuned to meet your needs. So if you can go ahead and answer these questions or choose an option that you'd like to learn more about, be great. Okay, give it a few more moments. Awesome. We truly appreciate your feedback, and we'll be happy to share more information the next time we all get together. And also, we would love your input about today. We're dropping in a survey link in our chat. Please open the link and provide your feedback about today's webinar. I see my colleague Catherine has just dropped it in. Take a moment to go ahead and click that link, open it up. It's a quick survey, about 3 questions, because we would love to hear from you, because we want to, again, make sure that these are meeting your needs and helping you as you serve your community. And as you answer that survey, either now or in the very, very near future, again, we thank you for your feedback. We'd like to thank you for your time joining us for our second Inside the Vault webinar series. If you had a eureka moment and would like to partner with us to share this information with your community, email us at askfiona@treasure.ca.gov. If you have any questions about today's presentations, we're just an email away. Visit our website to learn even more about our office and the resources available to you. And be sure to sign up for our newsletter to see our work around the state. Lastly, be on the lookout for an email with the information on the programs you heard about today and an invitation to our next webinar in December. Thank you for the vital work you do for your communities and for joining with us to improve the lives of Californians. Have a great day.